the Dragon Tarot deck today. General reading, all signs through their elements: earth, air, fire, water. Celtic cross spread for July 23rd, 2017. I think there's a Mercury retrograde shadow period that starts today. I was born on a Mercury retrograde, so it affects me a little bit differently than it does everybody else. If you don't know about Mercury retrogrades, then I really suggest you look them up. They affect 6 months out of the year, at least. Sometimes more, sometimes less. And the things that happen during the Mercury retrogrades are very they're teaching moments. They're lessons. And during the shadow period is when all of the lessons will build up. The things that you don't take care of, or the mistakes that are made, or the miscommunications, because it's all about communication. Any type of communication, like driving, cell phones, papers, even work. If you are a craftsman, then you communicate through your tools. So if you are a carpenter, then something will go wrong with your hammer or your saw, or something of that nature. It's all about communication, because it is Mercury, and Mercury is all about communication. Mercury is also the ruler of the Gemini people, and anything, whenever your ruling planet is going retrograde, it will affect Geminis a great deal. So there's that. But I was born on a Mercury retrograde, and it affects me differently than people who weren't. And yeah, so if you don't know if you're Mercury retrograde when you were born, please look that up on natal birth charts. It might help you out. I don't know. I think I get blamed for a bunch of stuff that is like out of my control whenever Mercury goes through retrograde. And yeah, we're starting Leo season, I do believe. Either today or tomorrow. So there's that. Leos will be going through their solar returns. Whatever karma they built up for the last year will be coming back to them. And during the cusp season, we'll be closing out the solar return for Cancers. I hope it went well, guys. I hope you didn't have a lot of bad karma. I hope your birthdays were beautiful and lovely. And yeah, it's usually up like a week before your birthday. All the karma will come back. And then the day of your birthday will be like a clear slate kind of thing. You'll have a clear slate and the day will be beautiful, and yeah, you start your karma again for the next solar return. So Leos will be coming up on their solar returns, and I hope it goes well for you. I hope you guys have a beautiful season. I really do love Leos. Leos are completely awesome people. So, let me go get something. So, that over there, get it blessed. Blessing my food. So anyway, general reading for all signs for July 23rd, 2017. In our past, we have the Empress reversed. This can be an Aries female acting in the reversal, acting towards you. It might be that she's in the positive and she's acting towards you. This can be a pregnancy gone wrong. This can be someone who is not being very nurturing. This can be someone who is being very much for themselves, very preservative, very much out for themselves. They can be closed off and vindictive. It can be overly mothering, like coddling, and being so oppressive with their love and their wanting the best for you that they are suffocating you. So there's that energy. Any type of motherly, nurturing figure that is acting in the reversal. In the center of our reading is the Death card, crossed by the Four of Wands in reverse. The Death card indicates change, any type of big changes that go on, transitions, transformations. It can be a spiritual transformation, it can be a lifestyle transformation, it can be any kind of big transformation, which is very, very on point with our transition between the Cancer and the Leo aspects for today. Sometimes it is about death, but most times it isn't. It's just about some sort of transition, some sort of life and death rebirth cycle. With the Four of Wands reversed as a challenge, this is the stability and the happiness of a situation being challenged. Maybe someone isn't happy and it's a challenge to make that happiness come around. Maybe their passion has gone out of it. Maybe they're very unstable, and the challenge is working through this energy. Just like a foundation that's not built on passion and love, and it's just like trying to work through that situation. It can also mean I don't feel that. I don't feel that. And then in the foundation of our situation, we have the Five of Cups, which talks about regrets, things, circumstances that might have gone on that tipped your cups over, and you're sitting there regretting what happened in the past instead of like looking what's left over. It's not good to wallow in this place. You're not supposed to look at the past for too long. You're supposed to take the steps and be in the present and understand what is now and move forward with those thoughts in mind. Learn from the past. Always learn from the past, but don't sit and like wallow in what could have been, what might have been, how things went wrong, all of that stuff. Just try to look at what you have left over, look at the situation for what it is right now, and move forward. And in the top of thoughts, we have the Queen of Cups reversed. This can be a person who is overly emotional, perhaps depressed, sad, anxious, unstable with their emotions. This person can be just like overly feeling, overly sensitive, overly just in that way. On the opposite spectrum, this can be a person who is who controls with their emotions, someone who is manipulative and uses their emotions to control people. This can be a liar and just somebody who doesn't have control of, they don't understand their emotions, they don't have control of their emotions, and so that's what comes out. They might not even realize that they're manipulating people with their emotions. They're just, you know, expecting people to obey them when they start crying. And yeah, so that's that kind of energy. In the future, we have the Five of Wands reversed. The Five of Wands talks about a lot of ego drama going on, a lot of stick waving, which I saw a lot like in the past few days. A lot of just stick waving going on and like fighting and ego drama and people, you know, just, you know, waving their ideas around, not really getting anywhere, not really being productive, just, you know, whatever. And it's just horrible. So like in the future, we have this energy ending, or it's either ending or it's accelerating. It's either getting worse and there's like, you know, balloons and stuff added to the stick waving or something. I don't know. There's clowns coming in. There's, I don't know, whatever. Tons of ego drama just going on all over the place. It's accelerated, exasperated, whatever. And like in the opposite spectrum, it can be that we don't want to fight anymore. We are putting down our egos and we are coming to a point of compromise and understanding and clarity. So hopefully the understanding, clarity, and non-bickering goes on. Earth signs. Earth signs. 4 cards for Earth signs, please, for today, July 23rd, 2017. The Hierophant reversed. The Hanged Man reversed. The Three of Cups. And the Eight of Swords. So with the Hierophant reversed, here, you can see all your cards. I'm using the Dragon Tarot deck. With the Hierophant reversed, usually the Hierophant talks about a Taurus. So this could be you guys, Tauruses, Tauri, however you say it in plural. It could be you guys acting in the reversal, which is like overly controlling, overly strict, overly possessive, overly, yeah, just too much structure, too much strictness, too much controlling, trying to control a situation like way too much, and being belligerent about it. Or it could be that it's a lack of control and people are bucking the system, and they don't want to abide by the structures anymore of a certain situation. The structures can be government agencies, it can be organizations and businesses, it can be marriages, it can be fraternal orders, it can be all those things. But that's the Hierophant reversed. It's bucking tradition. It's not wanting to go by the way things have been done all the time. Like, we do this because this is how we do this. But it's no longer relevant because times have changed. And so you have been working through tradition for a very long time because that's just how it's always been done. But since this change comes along, death comes along, this change and transformation comes along and says, wait a minute, we don't need to do this tradition anymore, and it's becoming restrictive, it's choking us, it's not productive anymore, so we need to change it. We need to buck that system. And so that's when the Hierophant reversed comes in. In your environment, how people see you, either way, is the Hanged Man reversed. This talks about someone who is sacrificing to look inward, to see a different perspective. And when it's reversed, it means that you are not looking at things from a different perspective. Now, this could be what people see of you, that you aren't looking at things from a different perspective. You're just, only seeing your way, and you're not looking towards anywhere else. And in your environment, it could be the upright version. It can be the upright version affecting you. Someone is trying to see your perspective. Someone's making that sacrifice, taking the time out, and trying to see things from your perspective in order to gain clarity and truth. In your hopes, fears, and emotions is the Three of Cups. Now, Three of Cups can talk about celebrations and happy times, and I'm choking on this because I don't know. So I guess it's not that. So the other way it can be seen is third-party relationships, and it can also be children. It can be news of a pregnancy or a child coming in. It can be, third-party relationships. Or over-drinking, celebrating too much. Eight of Swords, as your outcome, is a false sense of entrapment. You are being held back by the illusions of fear. You are being held back by thoughts that are, restrictive to you. You put this blindfold on and you're all tied up and you're surrounded by a circle of swords. But the swords are all illusions, and you can take the blindfold off at any time and you're free to do what you want. So all you have to do is just drop the fears, drop the illusions, and you're free to do whatever you want. Can I please get advice for Earth signs for today? with my throat. And that one. All right. Ace of Earth and Justice. I've seen Justice come up a lot lately, actually. The inflow of abundance, a promising business venture, important documents or contracts. This can also be a new start, a new opportunity. Yeah. Ace of Earth and Justice. Fair and just decisions. Do what you know is right. Stand up for your beliefs. Air. We've got the Ace of Swords in reverse, the Page of Cups, and the Eight of Wands. And the King of Coins. So, air signs. The Ace of Swords reverse talks about losing passion, losing spark, losing fire in your life, not having that zest, that creativity, that exuberance in your life. Maybe a new start to a creative venture did not work out, or maybe you're just being depressed and sad right now. It can also be that you are overly fiery. You might be belligerent and angry right now, or belligerent and sad, or some sort of pain going on where you're just belligerent, and I don't know why I would use that word so much, but belligerence is just out there, fiery, explosive, and, you know, bombastically negatively bombastic. So yeah, Ace of Wands reversed. Cool little wizard dragon in this tower with a wand. So, and then in your environment is the Page of Cups. This could be you, or this could be someone around you, or an energy around you. Page of Cups is a offer. It could be someone who is offering you their cup. They could be sending you messages of love, or they could be wanting to send messages. It's an emotional offer, basically, something new. It could be a child in your life who is very emotional and very heart-driven, very heart-based child who is in your life right now and affecting you, affecting your life. In your hopes, fears, and emotions is the Eight of Wands. The Eight of Wands talks about communication. This is very much a Mercury card, and it can talk about messages of love, again. It can talk about messages of passion. It can talk about fiery messages. It can talk about fast communication, unexpected communication, shocking communication. Any type of movement of passion, movement of fiery energy. It can be actual travel. It can be that you are going from one place to another in your car, or on a trip. And in your outcome is the King of Pentacles. This is This can be you, or this can be a person around you. This is a person who is very practical. You might be taking on a very, very practical and very grounded energy right now. You might be working with finances or your stability in some way. It could be just an earth sign person who is around you, affecting you. Air signs, can we please get some advice for air signs for today? Air signs, air signs. That one and that one. Getting two today, I see. The Hermit and the Moon. The Hermit is a Virgo card, and the Moon is a Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces card. 9 and 10, which talks about transitions from one phase to the next. Spend time in quiet meditation, spiritual teaching, self-discovery. Important psychic insights, events behind the scenes, release fears that hold you back. Deep psychology. Look inside yourself and the deep psychology that's at work. My son's a Virgo. I love Virgos. Anyway. Fire. Four cards, please, for fire. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Dear Lord, help us, please. Guide us. Fire, we have Four of Cups reversed, the Wheel of Fortune, the Six of Coins, and the Nine of Cups. So Four of Cups talks about regrets for, which also was in there for Five of Cups, regretting not taking an offer in the past or looking back over an offer and thinking about it. It can also talk about being discontent with an offer and being overly discontented with the offer. Like someone's trying to hand you this cup, and not only does it have like stagnant water in it, but it's got bugs and twigs and dirt. It's not really a cup full of water, it's just like a cup full of mud. And you're just like, no, and then you like door slam them and walk away. So like it's being that kind of overly discontented with an offer. Or it can just be that you are thinking over the offer that was offered and thinking more about it and going back over it and being more open to the offer. The Wheel of Fortune in your environment or how people see you is karma coming back towards you, but it's good karma. It's upright. So good luck coming towards you, fortune coming back at you. This can talk to Leos whose solar return is coming back to them. And karma is coming back their way, so this is very much a karmic card. That means, you know, it's coming back. These things are coming back around. And then with the Six of Coins, it is in your hopes, fears, and emotions. This that card keeps calling me. So like it's also in your environment. So maybe this can be the karma coming back to another person. It can be good luck coming back towards another person, or the karma that they put in coming back to them. You happy now? Can I put you down? Alright. So, the Six of Coins in your hopes, fears, and emotions. This can talk about one-sided giving. It can talk about philanthropy. It can talk about being very balanced in your emotions and being able to give towards someone else. It might be of your finances, or it might be of yourself. It might be a material good of yourself. It also might be like your health and your well-being. It might be of you in that emotional way. But it's being very, very balanced, and it is a one-sided giving. Lord help us. So the Nine of Cups talks about wishes in your outcome. It's hopes, desires, and being emotionally fulfilled, being emotionally balanced and even and happy, and having a wish come true. So it could be that you are seeing the fruition of a wish. Maybe you hoped for something and it is coming true. Or maybe you are just very emotionally stable and very much fulfilled in where you are right now. Advice, please. Advice for fire signs. That one. Alright. Ace of Fire. A flippy Ace of Fire. An exciting new opportunity, career advancement, change of your life now. Oh, change your life now. Water. Cancers, I really do hope that you guys had a good soul return. You guys got good karma back and good energy and emotions. And you put all that karma to rest and then are able to start anew with your new karma. I have like a ton of cancers around me. I didn't realize how many cancers I have around me, but I thought it was like 60% of my friends were like cancers, and no, it's like 80% or something like that. But I mean, you know, that's just what happens when you work in philanthropy, because like cancers are such beautiful hearts and beautiful souls, and they just want to love and give, and they're very, very deeply emotional people. Cancers are awesome, and I really do hope you guys had a good solar return. Be careful with this Mercury retrograde. All right, just trust me. You know, if you don't have a phone protector, like a case for your phone, get one, because usually on Mercury retrogrades is when you're gonna break the screen on your phone, and you're gonna have to get a new phone, and that's like $600 or something like that. You don't want to do that, so you know. We actually have a business around us that does screen repair for phones. And I've gone to them like so many times, and each and every time it's been on a Mercury retrograde. So horrible and such a drain, I swear to God. So anyway, sorry, I'm ranting. But yeah, water signs. 4 cards, please, for water signs. For Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces, not just Cancers. Please, please, please. 4 cards for our water signs for today, July 23rd, 2017. 4 cards, please. 4 cards. Ace of Swords, Justice, 6 of Cups. Justice has been coming out, and the Ace of Swords has been coming out a ton. I tell you what, I feel like 2 should come out. Bonus card. It is the end of a solar return. It is the end of a cycle and a transition to a new sign. So there's going to be transitional cards like this, like Justice coming around. Closing of cycles, like there was an injustice and now there's a justice coming around. So, Ace of Swords, Justice, 6 of Cups, and 9 of Pentacles, along with the Strength card as our bonus. Ace of Swords talks about deep revelations and truth, truth in your, a deep revelation coming out, a truth, being able to say your truth. It can also be about cutting away people, like if something no longer serves you and is actually a detriment in your life, and you use this sword of truth to cut it away, and you move on with your life without it. It can talk about, it's always been for me just like deep revelations and deep inner truths that just come out, and finally you can see something, finally you can understand it, and then you can get it out and get that truth out. It can also talk about communication, very honest communication. It can talk about, air sign court cards are all about being analytical, being very truthful, being very clear-minded, but they are also harsh, but not intentionally so. It's just, that's the truth, and that is what needs to be said, so they say it. And they don't really care about anybody else's feelings. They have to get that truth out there because truth is best. Truth will set you free. Truth is, always, always, always say the truth. So that's what they do. They're not like, messing around with it either, trying to get around people's feelings. They're going straight to the point and saying that truth. And then in your environment card is the Justice card. It can be a Libra, it can be someone, it can be legal issues, it can be court issues. It can be someone who is speaking their truth. They have their sword of truth. They have their fire and air balanced with that sword. This is the sword. And then, the scales in the other hand, the passion in the other hand. It's a balance between those two energies. Fairness, justice, a balance coming to the situation. It can mean a situation finding truth or finding justice. It doesn't always mean that the situation's going to turn out in your favor. I know other readers say that the situation's going to turn out in your favor when the Justice card comes up. It's not always like that. It's just justice. It's just balance. It's just the truth being had. And, justice doesn't always go in your favor. Justice is often a compromise. It's, both parties are unhappy, but it's justice. It's justice. It's just balanced, fair, and clear, and truth. And then in your emotions, hopes, fears, and emotions is the Six of Cups. Six of Cups can talk about children. It can talk about looking at the past with rose-colored glasses. It can talk about having an unrealistic view of the past. It can be about someone from your past returning to your life. It can be anything from the past coming back around again. It can be you thinking about your childhood. It can be all of those kinds of things, just like reminiscing, and bringing up the past and thinking about the past. So you might be a little bit lost in your thoughts today, and just like thinking about the past and mulling over it and going over it. And then in your outcome is the Nine of Pentacles. And this is interesting. Never really looked at that. They have the black and the white pillars on here like they do for the High Priestess card. Only they have it represented by two trees. The good and the bad, a balance of both, like the yin and the yang. That is really interesting. That's an interesting representation of this energy. So like usually in the Rider-Waite deck, you will see a woman who is walking through her garden, and she has this abundance of pentacles and grapes, and she has a little hawk on her hand, and she's just enjoying her life and enjoying what she has and enjoying her abundance, and is very independent and very happy and very stable. So that's basically what this card is all about. Possibly a single energy. Maybe you are single and you're just happy being single. You don't need anybody else. You're just happy doing that. And then in your bonus card, we have Strength. It's a very interesting representation of strength. A Leo card. It can talk about taming the beast within. It looks to be like this card represents the light and the dark. Like this lion here is the light and this dragon here is the dark. And one controls the other, or one balances out the other so that they can move forward gracefully and peacefully. It's interesting. But usually it's about taming the beast within yourself, or taming a situation, using that calm, using that balance, using that inner strength that you have, that gracefulness, that compassion, that empathy, that gentleness inside of yourself in order to just calm a situation. Like any roaring lion in your life, it can be either your emotions and your internal struggles, or it can be an external struggle with the people around you. And just using your calm, using your empathy, using all of those things to just, calm things down and move forward peacefully, gracefully, and with harmony. So let's see if we can get some advice beyond that. Oh. All right. I guess. Strength. Great inner strength. Release harsh judgments, forgiveness, and compassion. Ta-da! Alright. Which is very interesting. I'm an Aries, Pisces cusp. I am an Aries, but I have a Pisces cusp. And so I look at both whenever I do my own readings. Usually I'm working from my heart, which is also Pisces. So yeah, that was your reading for today. If this doesn't resonate with you, please look at your moon sign, your rising sign, or your Venus sign. If you're looking for relationship issues or issues of the heart, look for your Venus sign. And if you don't know your Venus sign, please go look at your natal chart, because that is important. And like, share, subscribe, and all that. And you know, if you want a reading from me, I will be happy to do it. I love doing readings. My prices are there in the description, and shoot me a message sometime. My email's on there as well. Yeah, I hope to be talking with you soon, and I do hope you have a great rest of July. Please be careful with that Mercury retrograde, and yeah, talk to you later.